Actor Carlos Albornoz guest starred on All Those Who Wander, a late season one episode of Star Trek Strange New Worlds, but you might not recognize him. He played Buckley, a strange alien creature the crew encountered during a rescue mission. Albornoz joined me to talk about Buckley and the unique costume he wore for the role. I'm T. Rick Jones, and this is your Daily Star Trek News. Thanks so much for joining me. It's great to meet you.
Yes, it's great to meet you also. Thank you.
I want to first ask you about your background. Just give me your origin story a little bit. How'd you get into acting? What projects are your favorites? That kind of thing.
Yeah, so I mean, I've always kind of been a performer as a kid. I think my first memory I have as like being on stage or anything like that, I think it was at school. We were putting on some sort of um Christmas play on, and it was my time to come to the stage, and I saw the audience and I like completely ran the other way. So being terrified was my first experience. But then after that, like, I don't know, I kind of always imagined like I'd be walking home from school and stuff, and I'd imagine like cameras and lights surrounding me and like trying to do like the most naturalistic walk I could do possible, or like whatever that means, you know what I mean? And then somewhere around, I think, grade 8, I wanted to do I remember making a clear decision. I was like, I want to go to an art school, and I want to join the drama program. So I auditioned, and I was determined, and I got rejected. So I went to a regular high school, but luckily they had an amazing like arts program and a drama program. So that really kind of like paved my way to go into theater and study theater and post-secondary. And from there, I thought I was going to be a theater star here locally in Toronto, but it ended up being that film and television was my calling.
Sure.
Yeah, so that's it in a nutshell.
Excellent. And here you are.
Exactly.
What was the first film or television project you were on?
So the very first one that I got casted in was a Canadian show called Schitt's Creek.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, sure.
yes. So great experience. I remember getting in there and just meeting the cast, who were super, super awesome and just so nice. It was just one line, and it was just like, and it was like, "Hey, back of the line, bro." And that was, I remember just being the funnest day for me. Yeah, it was such a great experience. Um, and from there, I just like I've always just really just wanted to work harder and just get bigger roles. And yeah, Buckley was just like an amazing dream for me, because I mean, I'm really into aliens and stuff like that, like extraterrestrials and the whole, what is it, UPA, the new UFOs. What's it called?
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean. I don't remember
UP.
what they're calling them now, but
Yeah, so the UFOs, like, I'm
right.
fascinated by all of that. So getting to play an alien was just like so cool for me.
So were you a Star Trek fan before you were involved at all?
So I wasn't actually. I was not a Star Trek fan, and once I got cast, I started watching all the ones that I could watch, like on Paramount Plus and stuff.
Sure.
And it's so good. It's such a good series. I love it. And like Strange New Worlds too. Like, what a great series. I loved it. I really wish that I could have been involved more in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but they killed you.
I know. I know.
But that's okay. You're unrecognizable, so maybe they can bring you back as something else or somebody else.
Oh, that would be so amazing. I would absolutely love that.
So, how did you get the audition, and what was the audition process like? Did you know you were going to be an alien completely covered in, prosthetics, or what? Just go through how you got that.
Yeah. Okay. So I get my all my auditions through my agent.
Okay.
So she sent me this audition. It wasn't called Star Trek. I think it was the code name was Lily and Isaac. And the script was not in English. It was what you saw on screen, right? It was like pika
Yeah.
kalaka, like so I was like, oh, okay, this is interesting. So I decided to like and it said like other I remember the description being like creature from another world and stuff like that. So yeah, I just played with it. I was like, okay, how would this guy stand? And I just got into like this stance. I was like, and I was like, pika kalaka. So that's how I recorded it. And yeah, they ended up casting me from that.
That's amazing. Uh,
Yeah. And then
so,
sorry,
go
and then
ahead.
yeah, like you asked about the prosthetics. Yeah, I had
Yeah.
no idea I was gonna be in like full prosthetics. I thought maybe like some skin stuff and you would still like be able to recognize my face, right?
Yeah.
But no, it was like complete, like 100% covered. It was great.
That's
Awesome.
amazing. So
Yeah.
how early did they have you come in to, because I'm sure they had to, fit you with the prosthetics and the mask and stuff. How and do I'm sure a face cast. How early did you have to come in? How did that all work? Because this is a unique costume. It's it's there's animatronics, and
Yeah.
so it was really cool. It's really cool to watch. I watched it again yesterday, and like every piece of that thing moves.
Yeah.
It's
It
just so cool. So how does the fitting for that work?
yeah, so I went about a month earlier, and they just covered me in this blue goo just to get my cast.
Yeah.
And yeah, and they covered my arms as well. And then it took about a month to they when they called me in for a fitting,
Yeah.
and I got to actually try on the hands for the first time. And they showed me the head. The head wasn't prepared just yet, but
Okay.
I was able to get on the hands and the suit that they put me in, which was awesome. That was the first fitting, and then the second fitting, they put on the helmet, and that was really cool because it was like being inside Iron Man.
Oh, wow.
Like, you could see, like, you know when they film Iron Man and you see, like, Robert Downey Jr.'s face and all the
Yeah.
stuff moving? That's what it was like for me. You see all the little moving gears and stuff, like, all over the
So
place.
cool.
Yeah, it was awesome, and when we were filming it, like, there's, puppeteers, and they're the ones that are controlling the facial features.
Uh-huh.
So I had to do all the body movement, and like it was just like this like synchronized dance almost that we had to do with each other. Like yeah.
That's cool. Were the eyes yours with contacts in them, or were they also
No,
animatronic?
that was all a part of the helmet. Yeah. So
Oh,
my eyes actually. So in Buckley's where his the piece on his head goes like this,
yeah.
there's actually like little nets there, and that's where I'm looking through.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing. When after you auditioned, after you got the role, did you see any sketches of the character? Did you know what he was going to look like before you went in to for the fitting?
No, I had no idea. I had no idea. I just knew this was what they were doing. I got the blue goo on me, and I
Uh,
was like, okay, so it's gonna be like a full body type thing. And then when I came in for the fitting, and that's when they showed me the helmet, and I was like, no way. I was honestly just like, whoa, I was in shock. I was like, this is the coolest thing I've ever done. Literally.
So
Yeah.
so how do you then, because it's a true collaboration, that costume. It's the puppeteers and you are all sort of working in sync. So how do you rehearse something like that with them? Are there any like, does everything have to be exactly the same every time you do it? Is there improvisation on either side? How's that all work?
Yeah, so with that kind of stuff, there isn't much room for improvisation because, yeah, like it needs to be that synchronized dance. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if I'm gonna be like when I was being attacked by the Gorn, I had to go like do the body movement, and so that and at the same time, but it was more the puppeteers. They would look at my body movement,
Uh-huh.
and then when they would see me do that, then they would like activate the facial features and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
Right, but yeah, it did need to be choreographed, and we had to talk about it beforehand, before every shot, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And if we wanted to try something different, yeah, it did need to be discussed before shooting.
Did a linguist or somebody go over how you were supposed to say the words with you? Or did you just sort of make up the pronunciations based on what was written?
Yeah, I just mostly made up the pronunciation as it was written. Yeah, I do remember, the writer talking to me about, like, what Buckley's intentions were, which were, like it's like, "Hey, hey, like, I'm protecting this girl, like, don't come any further,"
Yeah.
kinda thing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, um, yeah, it was a great experience, but no, that was mostly all just me and my pronunciation.
But there's this scene where you're about to have the alien come out of your chest, and you're breathing really hard and stuff. And anything like that, any movements like that, first of all, how heavy is that costume? And second of all, did you have to exaggerate what you wanted to do, or was that basically how it looked on screen was how you wanted to do it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So it was pretty heavy, especially the helmet. The helmet was the heaviest, so that weight that I was always like hunching my head forward.
Yeah.
So I really did need to hold it up, but yeah, all the movements had to be more dramatic than my own natural body movements. So when you saw me heavy breathing, I was like, I was actually doing that in the costume, right?
Do you have any physical theater training or anything that helped you out with that?
I do, yeah. So I went to a college here in Toronto, which is a theater conservatory, and we did get some physical theater training, which was pretty great. I loved it. Yeah, so we really learned, about our bodies and the connection that we have, and how we can like really like express with our bodies, right? Um, so yeah, just with that training, along with the instructions of the director and the puppeteers, it really was all a synchronization.
How many takes did you have to get? Because as you say, you have to synchronize with the puppeteers and everything.
Yeah. So I mean, we did go through a few takes.
Yeah.
Um, you know, a lot of the takes were practice for myself and the puppeteers. A lot of the takes were for how the camera was going to move, yeah, how it looked on screen, how it synchronized with the other characters as well. um yeah, so it was really like, I forgot where I was going with this.
I've been there.
What was the question again? Yeah, I mean, it definitely got better with the puppeteers and the camera, and how we were gonna move in sync, right?
Uh-huh.
Definitely got better throughout the towards the end. Yeah, again, when we first started, it was a lot of just how are we gonna do this, figuring stuff out. Yeah, just me trying to get used to the weight of the character, and figure out how the character moves, how this alien humanoid figure moves.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to say person. I was like, is that the right word? Maybe, I don't know. So yeah, so it was challenging at first, not only for myself, but for everyone to try and figure it out. But yeah, towards the end,
Yeah.
it definitely got easier, and it worked. We were all worked as a team, and it was great.
I'm assuming you're not claustrophobic then.
No. I mean, it not to say that it wasn't tough though, because being inside the helmet and the suit, it was tough because it was hard to breathe. Even though they had like a breathing tube,
Yeah,
it was tough. So we did have to take breaks every 20 minutes. And that's a part of the reason why it took so long
sure,
too,
yeah,
right? Because we had to take those breaks for my safety.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, because it was definitely it was tough, but I mean, I wouldn't change it for the world.
Did you finally seeing the mask and the costume, inform how you moved and how the things you did? Like, did you have one preconceived notion of how you were gonna do this, and then when you saw it, it changed?
Yeah, I mean, I always imagine just like walking like a normal person.
Yeah,
Right, in thing, but because this was my first time ever being in prosthetics and in full costume like that, I had no idea what it was gonna be like. So when I first put it on, yeah, it definitely informed me, and especially when I put on the helmet and I could see myself in the mirror, I was like, "Okay, now I can really see, what I can do with this and really imagine how this alien guy moves, right?" And
yeah.
that was the most rewarding part for me. It was just like really just seeing myself in full costume and just getting to know him. Getting
Cool.
to know Buckley.
This is definitely, I'm sure, a dream job for an actor to, you know, have carte
Yes.
blanche. You're creating a new species.
Yeah,
Even.
that's the craziest part. I mean, because like I said, I'm a total believer in aliens,
Yeah,
right? So to me, when to have had the opportunity for this and play Buckley literally was just like such an honor for me. And I really hope the Star Trek fans out there really love this character as much as I did, or and as I do, because I really love Buckley so much.
does Buckley have a species name? Was there something in the script that said it's this species?
No, so he has no species name.
Right.
We have no idea what he says or what he means
Yeah.
because the translators weren't working. And I mean, I don't, not that they weren't working. I don't think the translators picked up or know his particular language.
Right.
Um, so yeah, we literally know nothing about this species, which is even more exciting because it's like where can we go with this?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, yeah, I mean, I just hope the writers see this, like, producers, come on.
What's next for you?
Oh, yeah, so, um, I just filmed, back in July, I just filmed, an episode of a show here called Hudson and Rex.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it airs in the US, definitely here in Canada on cable television. And then
Mhm.
I also just filmed a commercial for an insurance company here in Canada called Desjardins.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
So our Canadian Star Trek fans can look forward to seeing me in Hudson and Rex and and your commercial.
Carlos, thank you so much for taking the time to meet with me
Yes.
today. It
Thank
was
you
an
so
honor,
much.
and I really appreciate it.
You're
Um,
very welcome.